Hello, it's Mr. Wyman here. I'm going to read for you an informational text about amazing butterflies today. Then you're going to take a Google form quiz. What I want you to concentrate in this article is how the author put together the information, how it's organized. You've heard of these butterflies before, you've seen them. Now let's read about them. The first sentence of this text, this article, is a question, and it has very specific information. When you think of butterflies, do you picture bright orange wings with black lines and white spots? This is a complex sentence. When you think of butterflies is a dependent clause, and then this part of the question is an independent clause. Do you picture bright orange wings with black lines and white spots? If so, you are thinking of monarch butterflies. So the author immediately answers the question, and we are now on board. This is the topic of this article. They are among the most common butterflies in America. There is something special about them, though. They migrate every year. So the author says that there's something special about the butterfly and introduces the word migrate. What's the next paragraph? This first paragraph is just introducing the monarch. This next paragraph is going to be about what? Well, look at the very first word in it. Migrating means traveling from one place to another. When you're writing your informational paragraph, and we're revising them this week, I want you to try out some of these things. If you haven't done this in your paragraph, introduce it. Revise means to change, to have new vision. And I want you to put some of these concepts in. Define some of the terms in your informational paragraph. If there's anything that people may not already know. If you're writing about Minecraft, I've never played Minecraft. So you're going to need to define quite a few things in there for someone who's unfamiliar. Animals that migrate spend part of the year in one place and part in another. Lots of animals migrate. Those that live in cool places often migrate to warmer places in the winter. What makes monarchs truly amazing is how far they travel. Okay, so now we know traveling is what is special about them, but how far they go makes them extra special, really unique. Many monarchs begin the year in Mexico. As winter ends, they begin to fly north and east. They spend spring in the southern United States. In summer, they are found in the northern United States and in Canada. Wow. They go the complete continent of North America, from Mexico in the far south. They hang out in southern United States where it's still warm during the springtime and things are starting to thaw, and eventually they end up in our neck of the woods, the northeastern part of America, and even Canada. As the weather cools, they head back to Mexico. They spend winter in the same place they started. Round trip, this journey is about 4,000 miles. That is a long way for a tiny butterfly. Scientists have learned that monarchs leaving Canada in the fall reach Mexico. Scientists have learned that monarchs leaving Canada in the fall reach Mexico. It's a funny sentence to stand all by itself. The ones leaving Mexico in the spring do not reach Canada, though. Oh, I think this sentence belongs with this one, like within the same paragraph. Female monarchs lay eggs along the way. Then they die, but their children continue the journey. It is often their grandchildren that complete the journey. The monarchs that head south were born in the north. They have never been to their Mexican winter home. So how do they find their way? That's a really interesting question for this particular article. And do you notice what's going on in the article? It's organized very very well. We learned what migration is. Then the author talked about how monarchs migrate, and we found out where they stop. And now we're learning about the eggs, the baby monarchs, and they must have some kind of navigation plan, like how to get from Mexico to Canada and vice versa. It has to do with the sun. Monarchs can tell where they are by the rising and setting of the sun. The sun's angle tells them which direction to fly. To show this, one scientist caught, maybe you're wondering, how do people even know that this happened? Well, now we're going to find out the answer. To show this, one scientist caught southbound monarchs in Kansas. He brought them to Washington, D.C. in cages. He let some of them out right away. They flew due south. That is the same direction they would have flown in Kansas. The scientists kept other monarchs in their cages for a few days. These butterflies could see the sun rise and set. When he let them go, they flew southwest. That was the right direction from Washington, D.C. to Mexico. Monarchs are amazing little creatures. The next time you see one, imagine where it has been. Then wish it well on the long journey ahead. These paragraphs about the scientists' experiment has some really interesting cause and effect. So we learned the sun rising and setting, and the angle of the sunlight. You can see a beam of light from my room going across my head in this camera shot. That would tell the monarch. So if I was a monarch, I could see this beam of light right here, and I would know, okay, I should go this direction. That's how the monarch, their brain is programmed, like a computer program, where to go. I hope you learned quite a lot about monarchs, but more importantly about informational text, how it's organized, how it's written. And notice how there's several paragraphs within this article, and each one has its own independent topic or main idea with details to support it. Good luck answering questions in your Google form. It's a teaching tool, so you can go back and change them if you got them wrong. Make sure you look to see which ones you got right and wrong.